I was scrolling through Facebook the other day and I came across this guy who was guaranteeing that he could cure alcoholism with his web series. All you had to do was pay $400 for his web series and it would cure your alcoholism, and it was a guaranteed program. Obviously, I clicked it. I mean, something like that. People go to rehab for like 30 grand a month or go to AA meetings every day. I mean, if you don't have to do that and you can just buy this web series and you're cured, hell, that's what I want. So I clicked on it. It was $400 and there was a money back guarantee that he would cure your alcoholism. What a moron. I mean, if you have a cure for alcoholism, that should be given away for free, first of all. Second of all, what type of narcissist thinks that they have a cure and they can cure you from their web series? I don't even think he's a narcissist. I just think he's a con artist. This guy's an idiot, and anyone who buys it's an idiot. Hey guys, this is Craig with That One Time in Rehab podcast. Sorry about that beginning rant. I had to get that off my chest before I forgot about it. Today, we're going to be talking about bipolar disorder getting worse with age. And also, I've got a story named Burn the Boats about a treatment center locking the doors and moving states to evade the feds. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We have a great show today. Welcome back. Bipolar disorder getting worse with age. I've been seeing a lot of articles come up lately, a lot of research indicating that bipolar disorder gets worse with age. From what I've learned from being bipolar, when I first was diagnosed bipolar and I was put on medication years and years ago, I was stable within a month, and I was stable for a while. Over the past year and a half, 2 years, my bipolar has started to get worse. The depression periods have gotten longer, the anxiety has gotten worse, the irritability has gotten worse. I'm extremely impulsive at times. And as a 36-year-old man that has been diagnosed and correctly medicated, I've felt like I shouldn't feel this way. I should feel normal. After reading that stuff, I started to get an understanding of what was going on in my head. I guess as you get older, your bones become more brittle, your mind starts to go. So it would make sense that bipolar disorder gets worse. Reading it gives me an understanding, but it doesn't make it any easier to live with it, because knowing it gets worse and seeing it get worse in myself makes things hard sometimes, I guess you could say, because there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's just a long tunnel with, there's just more and more potholes as you go. It's tough, but learning and understanding what's going on does make things easier. When you have an understanding of why your brain's working in a particular way, it makes it, like, for instance, it makes me feel less crazy because I understand what's going on now. Well, I guess we're all getting older, and if you have bipolar too, you're fucked as well. We'll be back shortly. This is a short story called Burn the Boats. It's not about burning boats. A treatment center in the South Florida area, about 5 years ago, once David Ehrenberg, he started the Sober Home Task Force, and they were going after treatment centers, and finally, they were cracking down on centers that were committing insurance fraud or patient brokering, etc., etc. Once the fraudulent companies or the fraudulent treatment centers learned about this, a lot of them were out of there. They were closing and moving away. This one particular center, literally overnight, they had a few employees come in and they took out every single medical patient employee, basically any piece of paper in that building. They put it in garbage bags, and there was probably about 3 tons worth of documents. And the 3 employees had to go around town and use different dumpsters to drop them off in. As they left, the doors were locked, the lights were shut off. Moving trucks came in within 2 days to take all of the furniture and everything out of that building. They gave up their license and they moved to a different state. Yeah, that's the end of the story. They moved to a different state. But the moral of the story is, if you don't like your environment, just change it, right? Sure, you could change your environment, but at the end of the day, you're still an asshole. You're just an asshole in a different state. Thank you so much for listening to my stupid podcast. It means a lot to me, seriously. To sum things up for today's episode, self-help gurus suck. Bipolar disorder sucks and gets worse with age. And an asshole is always going to be an asshole no matter where they are. We'll be back next week with another That One Time in Rehab podcast. Please like and subscribe the page and check out Anchor by Spotify, the easiest and best way to create the podcast. I love you all. Craig Tasman, and I'm out.